Virtuous Devotional Thoughts for Women, written by Monica Diaz, read by Belinda Sainsbury.
Good morning, dear friends. Today, November 11th, our devotional is entitled, Rend Your Heart, Not Your Garments. We don't see things as they are, we see them as we are. Anais Nin. Once upon a time, there was a rich man whose eyes were hurting. After consulting several eye doctors and trying various treatments, he had only managed to waste money and become even more impatient. So he decided to visit a wise man. For the next several months, the wise man said, "You should only focus on green things. Don't rest your eyes on anything that is not green. Your pain will decrease if you do so." It seemed like a strange remedy, but in desperation, the man was willing to try anything. So he called his servants and asked them to paint everything in the house green. Days later, the wise man went to visit the rich man, but when the servants saw him coming, they were horrified. He was wearing a red cape. They ran to him with a can of green paint, willing to splash on him. Before they did so, the wise man asked them, "Why don't you buy your boss glasses with green tinted lenses? Don't you see it's impossible to paint the whole world green? Don't you see it is not in your hands to change me?" This story is my subtle and elegant way of telling you and reminding myself something we need to hear every morning. You cannot change others. You can only change yourselves. You know that pain you feel because your co-workers are not supportive? You cannot change them, but you can be supportive yourself. The pain you feel because your husband thinks differently than you do. You cannot change him, but you can change yourself so you will be less frustrated and accept him as he is. That pain you feel from disappointment, you cannot avoid what caused it, but you can transform it into an inner change that makes sense. How? By carefully analyzing the way you see, in other words, how you interpret the world. To perform that analysis, you need to step outside the patterns you always follow and take the gospel framework as a basis. By learning to view and analyze things from a spiritual perspective, passive pain becomes active compassion. The events that make you rend your garments will lead you to rend your heart. And thus, with this change in your being, you will view the world through lenses that will cushion the blow of painful situations. Rend your heart and not your garments. Return to the Lord your God. Joel chapter 2 and verse 13.